Hi guys, and welcome to the Tranmere vs Sunderland match review in what was largely a forgettable game, but a very important 3 points nevertheless, as Sunderland did win by a goal to nil. So quickly getting into the lineup, we had McLaughlin in goal. Across the back three, we had Willis, we had Lynch on the left hand side, and in the middle of that back three, we had Newman, Bailey, Wright. Now the concerning thing with that is, of course, what is going on with Ozturk. It was reported that Parkinson was seen having a long discussion with Ozturk just before the game yesterday or last night, and then he didn't even appear on the subs bench. So I don't know whether he picked up a knock or something's going on there. There's been a few rumours here and there that Ozturk may be leaving, but that's generally just been speculation. But I think it'd be massively unfair to drop Ozturk given his recent run of form. You know, he had a difficult start to his life at the stage of light with Sunderland, but he's been, he's not really put a foot wrong at all in many weeks. So I think it'd be very harsh to drop him for the sake of it. So it'd be interesting to see what materialises there or what has actually happened, because he definitely didn't deserve to lose his place. But either way, carrying on with the lineup, we have O'Nien on the right hand side, Hume on the left. In the middle, we have Dobbo and Power. Then up top, as usual, we have Maguire, we have Wyke, and we have Lyndon Gooch as well. So, getting into the game, and I think the first thing we can all agree on how terrible that pitch was. There was sandpits all over the place. It was literally like playing on the beach. It really was terrible. But of course, both sides need to play like that. But it was generally giving me anxiety watching that game. The ball just bobbling everywhere because the pitch was so uneven, regardless of the sand. It was just stopping the sort of flow of the ball. If you hit it along the ground, all of a sudden the momentum and the speed of the ball would just drop drastically. So the players were just trying to judge the ball, just guessing where the ball was going to drop, and it really was. It was just terrible. It was worse than Sunday League standard. But anyway, so we get into the game, and of course it was scrappy. It was scrappy as hell. First half, there was barely any chances made. Tranmere did have one free kick, which was a very good save from McLaughlin, to be fair. It was hit hard and low, it bobbled off the surface, and he managed to parry it away and get it clear. We did have a chance though, just 5 minutes into the game. It was pulled across goal from the right hand side, and there is Bailey Wright, the new man. He's literally about 2 yards out. He just needs to head it in, and it's gone over the bar. But it does look though as if the defender managed to get there just in front of him with his foot and kind of heads it off Bailey Wright. But from the angle that we've seen, it just simply looks like Bailey Wright has somehow managed to balloon the ball over the bar from a yard or two out. But that was pretty much the majority of the chances, really, in the first half, because it was just shit. And I will say this quickly, and I'll say it, and I know I keep saying this every week now, and I did allude to this on social media, but the refereeing, oh my God. And I'll say this once, and I won't say it for the rest of the video. I'll probably say it in the next match review, but I'm going to say it. Jesus Christ, how bad the referee was last night. 5 minutes into the game, ball gets played over the top down the left-hand side. It's bouncing in. You've got Wyke and you've got their centre-back both chasing the ball. Their centre-back has just cut across Wyke, not even relatively or nearly near the ball as of this point, and he just completely just flung his elbow at Wyke, took Wyke out, Wyke's on the ground. Fair play to the ref. He's given a free kick. No booking. No yellow card. Sorry, no red card. Do you know what I mean? It was just ridiculous. But anyway, so you kind of let that one slide. Maybe it's early on in the game. You don't really want to give anything in terms of bookings or cards as of yet. But even so, for me, that was a red. Straight away, there was a time on the right-hand side when the ball's played over the top for Luke O'Nien. The ball's bouncing. There's one of the Tranmere men coming in to try and cut him off. O'Nien's won the header to knock it in front of him. But then as he's gone up for the header, literally a good 2-3 seconds late, their man just completely scythed down Luke O'Nien, just battering into his side, taking him to the ground. It's literally less than half a yard in front of the assistant, who gives nothing. The ref is only 5-6 yards away the opposite direction as well, who's got a very clear view of it. He gives nothing as well. It was just little things like that that were really pissing me off. And to be fair, he was given terrible decisions to Tranmere as well. There's a couple of little niggles and tackles that were very questionable from us as well, and he weren't given. And you know what I mean? It's just, I'm sick of complaining about referees week in, week out, but it's genuinely impressive how consistently fucking terrible they are. Do you know what I mean? It's just so poor. It just makes you think, what kind of qualifications do you need to be a ref in this league? What do you need? Because these guys just look like Morons. Do you know what I mean? I can't think of a better word. Dickheads, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was a largely quiet first half. There were a couple of times throughout the game anyway where Tranmere, they did manage to split the defence, but the ball would hold up. Do you know what I mean? So they get through, it looks like the one-on-one the keeper, then the ball would just stop. It stopped dead in its tracks, which is lucky for us, because otherwise we would have had one or two, one-on-one the keeper chances, which would have been a nightmare. But luckily for us, their pitch is absolute garbage and helped us out in that way. But in the second half, we did eventually manage to take the lead. A corner put in, I think it was a free kick, by Maguire. It was a very good delivery, whipped in towards the near post. White ran across his man and nodded it into the near corner to make it 1-0. And from then on, it was literally a battle. It really was a battle, and fair play to the lads, because it was never, ever going to be a pretty game. It was never going to be a pretty game on that pitch. You can't play football on that pitch. It's a case of who can hoof the ball into the better areas and who can get on the end of these hoofs. That's all I could really ask of the lads. And they were just running down everything non-stop. It wasn't a pretty game, of course. I can't say we played particularly amazing, but what we did play well at doing was just not stopping. We were defended well where we can. There were some times where bobbles had completely catch out our defence, but it was completely, it weren't down to them. It was down to the terrible pitch. Do you know what I mean? Wright looks very decent on his debut. We did bring on Scowen, the new signing who we signed early this week from QPR. We moved him onto the right-hand side and Maguire come off. And he looked all right. He only come on for the final sort of 3-4 minutes or so. But he does look quite tenacious. He wasn't scared to get stuck in early on, which is, I think he's going to be a really decent player for us. I know we can play in the centre midfielder, more defensive midfielder, but you can also play on the right-hand side. He does have that little bit of pace and that tenacity, what I really like to see. But yeah, so we held on and we held on and we held on, because look, even though they did get a man sent off, sorry, I completely forgot to mention that. They did get a man sent off because there was only a few minutes left, or about 5-6 minutes left. They did get a man sent off. It was a second bookable offence. It was probably about fair, I would say. Maybe a little bit harsh, but it was probably a bookable offence. We were breaking down the left-hand side and it's been taken down. So yeah, it was a bit of a shit decision, but it didn't really alter the game too much in any way, because it was just a mess of a game, to be honest with you. But those kind of games are so important. So important to get the 3 points, because those games are probably more difficult than, some of the top teams in the league on a good pitch. Do you know what I mean? Because you're simply playing on such terrible standards, and the style of football that we do like to play, or we're trying to play in recent weeks, it just doesn't suit a bobbly sand pit of a pitch. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a very, very good 3 points. We're currently in 5th in the league now. We have a couple of games in hand over the top 2, I believe. I think it's a couple of games in hand. I think I may have remembered that wrong. Oh no, we have the one game in hand, over Ipswich, Wickham and Rotherham. Rotherham and Wickham currently topping the league in 1st and 2nd, both on 50 points. Ipswich on 48 points. Peterborough in 4th on 46, but we do have 2 games in hand over at Peterborough. We're in 5th on 45 points. So, a couple of wins there, and we're flying. Do you know what I mean? Another couple of wins, but there's still a long way to go. Of course there is. But our next few games look daunting, to say the least. Our next sort of 6 or 7 games we're going to run of playing the likes of Portsmouth this weekend. We have Ipswich at the Stadium Light. We have Coventry in there, Fleetwood in there. There's some really, really difficult tests, and Oxford as well, I believe we do play. We do have the likes of Rochdale as well, who I do expect to win, with no disrespect to them, but this next run of games is really going to tell. We're currently unbeaten in 9. We've got 4 clean sheets out of those 9 as well, which is absolutely incredible. The 4 clean sheets coming in the last 4 games, which is absolutely brilliant. But these next few games are definitely going to be very, very telling. Parkinson's done very well to turn what looked like a sort of completely sinking ship around, but now it's a case of really pushing for it. I think on a good surface, that team yesterday would have done a lot better. Of course, we only beat Tranmere a few weeks ago. Was it 5-0, 5-1, whatever it was? And it was never going to be that kind of game again on that pitch. But, if we stick to our game, we are improving the squad. I think the additions of Scowen and Bailey Wright, the good additions. There's other rumours here and there. Recently, Jordan Jones has been linked with us. He was one of the players that I really wanted to sign last season, but he did sign for Rangers. It hasn't gone to plan from there, and I'd love to see him coming towards. He's definitely the kind of player we need. Someone who can really get it teams. He's got that pace that we're in absolute desperate need of. But yeah, so it's a really good 3 points. It's a job well done. I was really proud of our Jesty in a different way. It weren't a case of, we played amazing, we absolutely battered them, because that definitely wasn't the case, but it was a really, really difficult challenge to play in that shit all over pitch, and to get away with 3 points, I'll take it. I'll take it. So well done, guys. Very well done. I'll probably give my man of the match to Bailey Wright, purely because it was his first game. It didn't look like it was planned. And he was very solid on a pitch like that as well. He probably thought, what the hell have I got myself into here playing on a pitch like that? But he did well. He did well considering he was running through sandcastles throughout the game. But yeah, 3 points. I'm buzzing with that. Really, really happy with that. You, of course, let me know what you thought of the game down below as well. But if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jump.